Can't touch this. Nah, 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 nah. Good morning, y'all. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, they do enjoy being outside with me. When I go and feed the dogs or feed the birds out there in the morning, I leave them back so the birds feel safe and whatever. And as mentioned, my dogs and the ducks are like friends or like regulars. But I like to give everyone, their own space. Take care of the dogs first, the birds, the fish. Oh, hold on. And the wildlife. If I didn't have like psycho neighbors that literally like pray around this time too, like it's like a timing thing for me, it's a lot of different feelings, then they would just be outside with me nonstop. Um, and it does suck that it has to be like that at times, but you ain't touching none of my kids. I'll like literally F somebody up. So, yep, that's what it is. So I go and take care of the wildlife in the morning and pretty much flick up all the neighbors. Anyways. Oh, I haven't forgotten the live feed is on. That's just what I do in the morning. Day 11. I cannot wait. Did we just go up like 2 days? Yeah, loyal AF. What up? Good morning, Harches. Good morning, Simba. Good morning, Rim. Good morning, Loyal. Or should I call you number 11? I shall call you number 11. I'm just kidding. That sounds so fucked up. What up? How was the rest of the volunteering? Who was number one? I'm like, wait, what? I thought you were talking about the YouTube party hats. I was like, what? Or the YouTube Burger King hats? I missed the reference. I guess I wasn't that big of a fan, I guess. Packing boxes like, can still be fun though, because you think of it as what would I like to eat, or if I was a kid, what would I want to find in the box, you know? And what is health-ish? Yeah, I call it the BK hat. But Rim looks like he stole that from you. What's on the agenda today, yo? Okay, Aquarius. Moving on up. Na, na, na. You're like, I will be number one. Just kidding. Oh my God. You must have been trying to wake me up. I woke up at 4:30 and I was like, fuck no. And I went right back to sleep until 6. I was like, hell no. So kudos for you for going jogging for both of us. Get fit. Get lit. Go. You know? And now you're going to fill your brain with knowledge. Look at you. Rocking this Tuesday morning. Who owns Tuesday? You do. Sounds like some boot camp shit, right? Who's going to rock Tuesday? Jesse. I'm so glad the full moon's behind us. Yesterday I started getting a little wacky and shit. I was like, oh, hell nah. I was like, well, we need all chill. I'm telling you, y'all, when you start to notice the full moons and the water people are drinking, you kind of like, all right, I cannot take these days seriously because it is unknown of what could happen. I'm from the US, Joseph. Goonin. Where you from? What's on my agenda today? Well, I need to do some stuff in the office. Story of my life. A couple people that want some things. So I need to like get that organized. Make some money. You know what I mean? I need to like make a like, I don't know, a phone call date with like my best friend. I need to figure something out with that. I'm like really bad at responding in text, so I need to see what's going on with that. So I don't know if I'm gonna do that today or tomorrow, but I keep like getting inklings that I need to do that. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna plan for that. Sometimes my conversations with her can be like an hour. Sometimes they could be like 5 hours. And y'all have met me and saw me on these lives. So just imagine. I knew this was getting weird. I knew it. I just like had that inkling. Yep. I just do. I just give people a second. And then that's what happens. Yeah. And then the chat went fucking bonkers, and I was like, "Oh my god, let me get back in there because I don't want to leave the chat like hanging like that, or anyone hanging like that." But I also, I didn't know what to say entirely. Yeah, it definitely fucks with people's emotions. But if you're not aware of that, you're just feeling like you're fucking depressed, you know? It took me years, and I also still have to actively remind myself when the full moons come around. The new moons aren't as bad, but the full moons, yeah, it's like a light out to the universe, and people just like are feeling things, doing things, saying things. And then the next day it's like a weight was like lifted, but yeah, maybe you still had XYZ happening because you made a decision or something. So I always like, especially when I'm aware, which most of the time I am, but when I'm aware that's a full moon and there may be a decision to be made or something, I'm probably not making it on that day. Hold on. And I want like if anyone's like feeling real down about life and stuff, like I'm not a therapist, like I never claimed to be one. So we should always be seeking the help that we need, you know. And no one is going to judge you or talk down on you about. You don't even have to share it with anyone, but we should actively be receiving the help that we need in this world, whatever that may be. And making sure that we're doing it in healthy ways, you know, because life can be hard. And sometimes, how do we get over these barriers or hurdles to make ourselves feel better with the experience that we're having and feeling better in our own skin, feeling better with what we have to offer in this life? Like, because it is ultimately a decision that we make, even if you talk to people day in and out and stuff. Um, but I know it's a constant rewire, and it's a routine change for many that have feel like they've lost like purpose, or feel like they want more than that they can get, or they miss their loved ones. There's so many different scenarios of sadness, of course. Yeah, I know. Oh, I saw. And I was like, God damn it, YouTube. Like, I was like, I cannot. So I was like, let me think this out real quick. I was like, oh, grab my other fucking phone. Like, I live under a rock sometimes, and I'm like, I don't think to be like on more technology than I'm already fucking on. So I was like, oh, how can I like not lose this chat? Um, and it literally wouldn't let me restart it all. And there was the other option. It was try again or in the stream. And I had a feeling once I pressed end the stream, it would be completely donezo. But try again was just refreshing. It was like literally refreshing the chat. But the chat wasn't current anymore. It was like whatever was left for before it was reconnecting. So when I jumped on my other phone, I was like, oh my God. But this happened like a week ago or something, where I ended up going to the spin of death, and I was like spinning around, and I thought of the same thing, and I was like, oh, let me jump on my phone, my other phone, and get in there and chat real quick. But it ended up disconnecting me entirely. Like I didn't really have long to figure that out. So that's how I felt like it was going to happen yesterday, that it may just disconnect at some random point, and I didn't want to leave any conversation like that way. Yeah, I'm only deleting those for probably obvious reasons. I hope you're picking up on that, but I yeah, it can be very hard for me too, but I've also seen people prey on people, and I'm not saying that was happening yesterday, but I have already seen that here on YouTube alone. So I always tread lightly because we really don't know the mindset of others, but you can also feel when people are pure and they're going through things, you know? And I feel like that is part of like my divine purpose of this life, is to help people switch gears a little bit, because I've been there too, you know. We've all been there. whether we talk about it or not, and how do we navigate through what makes us feel like less not wanting to be in our skin and value what we do bring to the table even when it feels like it may not be much. So, and as I always say when we're reading these things, like, we do need to be very mindful that we could be reading them wrong. Even if you feel like you're on point and you're maybe learning people's energy and personality and stuff, there still can be times you read things wrong. So, and it sucks like that in this day of time, a lot of people suck at communication to begin with. So imagine you're finally like expressing yourself and then your stuff is read wrong because someone read it wrong, or we depend on technology so much on a line of communication instead of expressing to someone face to face, or expressing to someone that's not through a text message or a chat or etc., because anything can be taken out of context and then you got a whole fucking like squirrely fire, you know? So and I've fucking seen it many times and people just pop off. And usually there's no like return. There can be if you have strong minded people involved that are like willing to be like, oh, and then the way you handle it, are we going to laugh it off now? Is another fucking thing going to pop off because of this, or etc.? And I never want to push people either, but I also have gained angels that made a decision with their life, and those things really hit home for me. So like when people say that, it's like a trigger for me almost, because I'm like, "Oh my God," like, so I definitely I try to figure out a way to navigate around, but also to remind once again that I'm not a therapist. I don't have all the answers, and even if I was, like I still think that happiness is an inside job. In life convinces you that you're less than at times, and that's a mental thing, so you mentally start to convince yourself that, and then if humans are shit and you're around shit humans, then that convinces you of that as well. So it's like becomes like a domino effect, but that was also where like yesterday I was like, oh, I cannot leave this chat, like this fucking YouTube. If anything, I would have ended up restarting the live, but it was really annoying because that was the last thing I wanted. I never want to leave anyone like that. I agree. I think he is too. And that's why I was like, I'm not saying he is. Um, yeah. I I would like to say I'm pretty on point as well, but you just never know. And life is crazy and people do crazy things. And I'm not saying that that was yesterday by far, but I always just have to take that in. But I also am definitely an empath as well, and I definitely feel for people. And I've gained angels that have made decisions like that in this life, a couple of them, and that has never gotten easier. You always think about like, how could I have done more, So it's definitely not something easy to be talked about. But I also take into, I don't want to say consideration, but I also take into mind that, like if someone is has been withholding all these feelings for so long and they find a comfort to talk about it, nobody should be making them feel less than, and I think that's where the world is like fucked, and people are like, just get over it or you're gonna be fine, or all the shit that doesn't help, so it's like rewiring and going in there. But at the end of the day, everyone has to make that decision of like, how do I feel happier about the life that I'm living? What can I do to change that? As mentioned before, if you put out the work, the universe is going to meet you halfway. It will. And sometimes it may not feel like that, but when you crack the code to life and you're like, if I put in this work, and you see it happen, because that's what's changed a lot of my gears around, is that I feel like, I was more open to the messages of the universe, and being willing to have something guide me that was positive, and see things that happen that are more like confirmations that I am on the right journey, that I'm making the right decisions, that I'm not physically, spiritually ever alone, like that I have a guide system that's helping me get through this life. And those are things that continuously keep me going. But I understand that everyone have different experiences to even feel that way, because I didn't always feel that way. So, hey, Paul. Right back at you. Happy Tuesday. It does take time. It's literally like a routine, though. If we fucking tell ourselves we suck for fucking 45 days straight and then have like 3 good days, what do you think is going to overpower that eventually? It doesn't have to be that way, but it becomes like a recipe in our mind. You told yourself you suck for 45 days straight, and then you had 3 good days, but those 3 days are off because you're used to the routine of telling yourself you suck. We really have to be our own best friend. I know some people are like, yeah, yeah. Or some people are like, I have no friends and this is what it is. And I'm like, no, you have yourself and you have your spirit guides and you have your angels. Not everyone's always going to believe in all those things. And I understand that. But most importantly, you do have yourself. And if you're not your own best friend and you're not knowing how you want to be loved and treated, then how can we expect people to treat us that way? Hold on a second, y'all. We all need like a little pep in our step. And once we start getting that little pep in our step, that becomes the routine. And then I'm like, have goosebumps right now. I always know that's the angels. But once you have that little pep in your step and you feel like nothing can hold me back, you may still have bad days. We're fucking human. Like that's unfortunately going to happen, but it is always how we handle it and how we come out on top of the situation. And a lot of situations repeat themselves. So for me personally, realizing that and knowing that things repeat themselves in different forms all the time, that becomes like a hack for me of like how to navigate through. I've been here before. I've dealt with this already. How do I get out of it now, or how do I make it better than the last time so I probably don't deal with it again? Even if you do deal with it again, it's like how you get better over time. There's no book to this life shit. There's people that speak on their experiences and how they got through and stuff, but ultimately there is no you do it this way and then it will be this way. There's guides and stuff, but it's still all about your perception of it. If you know that, hold on a second. Sorry. Um, because if you're having a bad fucking day, you don't want to hear a fucking pep talk. Like, who wants to hear that shit? Nobody. Sometimes it can be the best thing you need to hear, and you need to maybe take it in, and then maybe you're not ready for it sometimes. It just depends on what's going on. But if we're not willing to want to make our lives better, then who's responsible, you know? And I have the same discussion with myself of like, yo, you want this to be better, you need to do this. Like, or, you know, and not, and being your own best friend though, if you're sitting there like bullying yourself, like, no one's going to listen to that and you're only going to get more sad, you know? Good morning, Okie. What up? I stepped in some pep before. What, like Dr. Pep? Well, I hope everyone knows that they're welcome here. You bring good vibes to the table. You bring laughs, cheer. You know, all of us need to be mindful that we are all living a life experience outside of these chats. And although we're naturally being us, right? Because I want everyone to naturally be you. You're only disservicing yourself if you're doing that here. But I like the fact that we can have like a little buddy system of like, okay, life is fucking hard, but how can we get through these things? How can we feel better about the cards that were dealt to us? How do we own the cards that are dealt to us and not make them burdens against us? Well, stepping in pep is better than dog shit. You know what I mean? I have no doubt in my mind, Paul. I have no doubt in my mind that you would give the shirt off of your back for mass majority, if not all. But remember that you deserve love too, you know? 'Cause I feel like the givers don't always realize that. That is very true, Jesse. It's okay to feel things though, but just remember not to get stuck in those things because then it becomes like literal like sticky web of bullshit and then everything gets affected by it, you know? Remember, flow like a river. And I don't got this life thing figured out either, y'all. So everybody know that. I just speak from experiences and from the heart. And a lot of us humans have been through a lot of the same experiences, even with different stories and experiences. Like we can relate to so many different things. And also navigate through feelings that aren't always the easiest, you know? But remember that these are an emotion. It's not, it doesn't have to be a state of mind, but it becomes that if they start to partner up, you know? Yeah, exactly. That's exactly why the universe sent you here. They're like, oh, hell, help her out. Give her some bubble gum. I'm just kidding. No, I feel like I don't have it all figured out by far. But I know that I'm an empath. I know that I'm a lover and I'm a carer and I'm a healer. Like, those are things that I resonate with a lot in this life, and I will keep doing good. But I have moments too. But it's taken me a long time, you know. I come from a really broken family. Like I felt alone my whole entire fucking life. Like even meeting my family later on in life, it was like I was still the black sheep and I never deserved any of that. It's not like I went around and was malicious to people. It was the stem effects of others. So it was like, you know, you get to choose. Do I become a cold-hearted bitch here or do I continue to do what I know my purpose is and keep rising above the shit and be better than the shit and find happy spots in my life because you create the sparkles in your life as well. Like you have to literally look for the glimmers. Me and my best friend are always like, we gotta find the glimmers. Me and my best friend are very, very emotional women, but we're hella smart, we own it, and we're also very fucking stubborn. But if your mind allows you to go down that rabbit hole of sadness, you have to pull yourself out. Like There will always be people there. Maybe there won't always be people to bring you out, because I mean, growing up alone and stuff, I kept a lot of things to myself, a lot of things to myself. But I found outlets to express those things as well, and I look back and I'm glad that I had certain things in my life to help me navigate through, because uh, otherwise you get stuck. Like, you can get super stuck. Yeah, and do I say all men are a bag of dicks, or? Well, there's a difference between being a feeler and then just crying over things that don't make sense because you bottle things up for years. Are you saying that to Oki? Yeah, I resonate with the life coach stuff a lot. But everyone's responsible for their own decisions and stuff. And sometimes, it's good to vent it out. Maybe you're looking for an answer. Maybe you're looking for clarity. Maybe you're just trying to set something free, you know? And I think it is very important to have a balance, because we can't trap all these things inside of us. And men not crying enough has been where the world has also gone crazy, by the way. So shout out to the women, because women are more forcefully emotional at times for many reasons. But then there's times too that women become so cold and hard because they need to be strong, because we're being judged by men or people. So there has to be a healthy balance, 100%. Yeah, I agree. I mean, we never know. We never know, like, where people stand. And people give you inklings of where they are mentally. And then you also, like, I don't know. It's a touchy thing. I think it's okay to cry always. We came into the world crying. But it's also like we need to, like, maybe hone in on, like, what is making us feel this way. Is it multiple things into one, or is it one thing that's made all the things come to light? Oh, we do a little training here and there in the morning. We always do a little stuff. But I just, like, this morning was I was a little late to getting to the live. We're up early every day. I was late getting to the live this morning. We had a nice little walk around. I had a little woodpecker following us around, which I thought was cool. I anyways, I find the gems and the glimmers of life, because if we go looking for the darkness, it's there too. You know what I mean? Each is their own on that. I don't think that, though, Okie. And that's okay. But I'm not going to accept that, because those are things that make people sad. Which is very, very valid reason of why people would be sad, and that's a mental thing. I got a VHS of it. I'm so done. Was it on VH1? I'm like, I think I saw that music video. There really are. There really is Paul, not Art. There really is Paul, and you're one of them. For sure, and I hope you know that. I don't believe in coincidences, y'all. I always say that, but I fucking mean that. I got a couple videos over the weekend outside playing with the dogs. I really crave to have land to be able to hone in on that more and just actively be free because the boys are so good, like so good. When we're walking back to the house, I always let them just walk back freely to the house, and they're just so good, so good. So I feel bad that sometimes they're like, I don't know. I'm like mama bear, like rah, get away from my kids, like quite literally. So it does suck sometimes in the neighborhood because there's all kinds of fucking weirdos here. It's just unbelievable. But you gotta find like your happy places. You know, like my animals are my happy place. My arts. I like music. I do like reading, although I haven't read in a while. There's a lot of like things that you find your happiness in, because that's part of the journey. Hold on. I cannot. I'm not calling you George. That sounds so fucked up, but I do think it was very telling for me. That happens to me a lot here. I'll say something and then like a couple days later or a day later or even the same day something's mentioned about it. Now whether someone heard me say it, now they've mentioned it. Those things happen too. But I do think it is interesting that you do have those little breadcrumbs that lead you to other things. And I literally was talking about George of the Jungle. I was singing a song and then I ended up mixing it with George of the Jungle and I was like, wait a minute, that's George of the Jungle, that's not the song. And then Jesse had his story. I was like, wait, what? Yeah, I appreciate it, Jesse. We're gonna come there and just go on a jog around your property and leave. That's hilarious. Wait a minute, you got any flea markets over there? Tell me about the flea markets. I appreciate that though. But you humans are crazy. You achieve a goal, you work so hard to get this goal, and then you get there and it's just like it's not even as exciting as it should be. We always do that. Meanwhile, we've accomplished a lot and everyone has different accomplishments. We're all on our own little earth angel journey here. Yeah, it is, Paul. It's your biggest strength. And I don't want to say the biggest because I'm sure you have other ones that maybe you haven't honed in on as much. But you don't even have to tell us that here, Paul. We know that. And I think it is magical where I can meet people in here and really feel like we've known each other for forever. That's something that's so beautiful to me. Even though there's weasels out there that hone in on people being kind hearted and passionate and all the good things, there are really good souls out there. And I am thankful for that on my YouTube journey. I say it all the time, you guys keep me coming back. The electric can opener. Oh yeah, I remember you were saying that about the air fryer. That's cool. I need to go to the clothes bin. Need to arrange something. Don't say only though. I feel like you're like degrading the lot. Well, as you enjoy your days, the goals come together, because that's part of the recipe. If you're not believing in yourself or you think that you'll never achieve these goals or you're not worthy of it, you're only hindering yourself from getting to the goal. I'm talking about y'all, almost everything in my house is thrifted. There are some things I definitely bought brand new, and there's some things I probably would never thrift. but mass majority of my home is thrifted. With old folks, I cannot. They're like these geezers in here. The clothes at first for a while I didn't look at clothes for a while because I feel like it is like kind of overwhelming. But it's honestly, if you're willing to dig and search, clothes is really cool because you could find like brand new stuff that people just literally bought and never wore. Some stuff has tags on it still. It's like the best way to buy clothes for sure, especially in a world of overconsumption. If I can make something last a little bit longer or find peace and value in it and it was trash to you, then who's really coming up there, you know? Or they have a lot of consignment shops like the like different owners and stuff, like small business owners. Okay, sorry. Give me a second, y'all. You buy all your socks there? That's so random, but that's cool. Oh, that's cool. Okay, you got the job. They offered it recently? Yeah, me neither, Aaron. You know, Jesse, you know? Oh, okay, like a lot, Jesse? Yeah, this ain't no guided meditation, but guided meditation would be fun, but I need to be organized. Meanwhile, I think it takes away from the simplicity of it or the divine naturally doing its thing. Yeah, you know. That's unfortunate. It's too far away from home. But maybe it's a sign that another door will open. Yeah, that's why he should move there. Oki's like, yes, that makes sense now. And sometimes the biggest life rewards come with the biggest leaps, you know? So you got to feel a little bit of frogginess in there. But there's always, with the decision being made, there's always other decisions being made behind it, you know? Oki's like, I just do whatever I want with my electric can opener. He's like, there ain't no rules. It could be, but it could also be maybe beneficial and maybe knowledge seeking, or maybe it's a step into doing it yourself, you know? I always ask the universe, okay, like what is the objective here? And look at the situations that could be presented. Although the universe can still prevent you. The universe could still give you other options than maybe the ones you thought about. But it also could be like a food for thought for the next step. Nothing worthwhile is easy. And some things are just straight headaches. That's where you have to start like doing that balance of like intuition. Is this universal? Is this just like not something I should be doing? It's brought to me to remind me I shouldn't be doing it. There's always different scenarios. I mean, when I decided I was going to be my own boss, that came with a lot of leaps, a lot of headaches, a lot of tears, but it came with a lot of happiness. Decisions that we make in this life are typically never easy, but we learn from the growth. Yeah, it's like a franchise essentially. But I mean, if you were to create like maybe a structured business layout of like even looking at if things went south, how would we handle this and what would we do in a contract, depending on what the options would be, could be a way out. Oh, there's definitely bad leaps, for sure. There's definitely bad leaps. But is it a bad leap if you learn from it? It may still feel like, wow, I'll never do that again, but now you know, because it's always one of those shoulda, coulda, woulda, or you start thinking about if I did this, then I would have done that, and you don't know if it would have gone that way if you don't try. And sometimes, you know, you should not try things. It just depends on what it is. What up, Remy? I think I'm gonna call you Remy and not like the alcohol. That shit is strong, boy. Woo! I'm like literally squinting at the thought of it, actually. Yeah, but is it a game because you know you probably wouldn't do it again? And if you wouldn't have done it, you would have wondered if you should have. Or you would be like, I'm glad I didn't. That's life for you. It's like this or that or this or that. Oh, good lord. He was like, that was a big froggy fuck up. But I think the universe realizes that we're playing this money game here, you know? So if we continue to do our part, and we are good humans, and we know what good human is, don't be picking and choosing what's good and what's not. We know what it is to be a good human. I think things work out for us if we're willing to like examine like all the situations at hand. And being honest, I mean, if you're making fucking dumb investments and stuff and it doesn't work out, maybe another investment comes to you and you have knowledge of that first investment now, that you may think twice, or you may try again and it may work, or it may not. And then now you know for sure that you should not be fucking doing that. So it happened to me a couple years ago with land. They literally were like the same situation, pretty much presenting themselves to me. And I was like, oh shit. So when I got to it the second time, I was like, this is literally like the first time. $30% lower. You're talking about the money? Okay, Ram. Okay, did you change your profile picture? I'm like, what? Oh no, that's grown. What the fuck? I was like so lost. I was like, wait, what? What up, grown? How's that headache? Hopefully you don't got one. You changed your profile picture again? How old is this one? I was so shocked. I was like, wait, what? I thought it was Oki. I was like so lost. I was like, I'm being fucked with. Like, it's way too early for this. Okay, so you're still in limbo. So those are big numbers, Rim. What up, Empire? I'm doing alright. It's Tuesday, y'all. It ain't Monday no more, but it's Tuesday. Oh, okay, Rim. Rim was like, I'm gonna plan this out. I do, Oki. That profile picture really thrown me with grown. I was like, what? um, I do. I don't know if I make adjustments. I really don't know what I'm doing with all this stuff yet. So if I don't acknowledge something or I miss something, y'all like don't think that I'm ignoring you or there's a lot. I'm like still figuring out the ropes of the YouTube program stuff. And I don't know how I will change things and do things and stuff because there's a lot of like attachments and perks and I don't really know what a lot of the stuff means still. I'm like, what? It's like a learning curve. Oh, that's actually your sticker. Hold on, I missed some stuff. Oh, that's interesting, Rim. So that's what you did. And do you have those stickers everywhere? Buy me a fishing pole. They should do that. I should do that. That's hilarious. Oh man, I still haven't been back on there. I need to go back on there. I tried yesterday and it wouldn't let me on. A tricycle? That's hilarious. See, exactly, okay, exactly that, because I need to make sure that I'm doing the member only stuff. There's a lot. Like, at first I did all these different memberships, and I was like, holy shit, like, that means I have to, like, reorganize a lot of stuff with the channel. Like, my little butterfly ways are great and all, but I need to be landing on a flower and making things happen too and chilling. It's like a weird thing in my mind, but I definitely I saw all the different things that you can offer for the memberships and I was like I want to make sure that I'm providing because I take care of like so many things here, y'all, and I need to make sure I'm not pouring from an empty cup. So I'm like, all right, no pressure. I haven't been like promoting that as much. That was something that came in last week. And then I readjusted. Mela had signed up, and then I changed the membership stuff because I was like, I can't pour all this right now, but I'll have to gradually grow with it. And honestly, the other stuff that happens, like on the attachment of all the program stuff, there's a lot of different things. A lot of different things. I'm actually still waiting for a few things to come in. I would like to do member only stuff. I talked about the spiritual stuff, and I also talked about the dog stuff too, as well, for people that really actively want dog tips. Because I have to remember the channel where it originally originated as well, which was off the pups. And that still happens for us all the time, but to carry my phone around, especially even living, is like an obligation sometimes. So I have to like rewire that for myself. Welcome back, Paul. Sounds like you got it figured out, Rim. Like you've been doing it for a second. Jesse's like, let me pick your brain, grasshopper. Tell me the knowledge. You drew your sticker, Okie? Goat soap. What do you mean? We're all here chatting, Rim. We talk about all kinds of stuff. And it's not always my time. It's the floor for everybody else too. Nobody wants to hear themselves talk all the time, you know? So I like to talk about other things, y'all. I can talk about all kinds of things, like, and try to keep conversations going and stuff, for sure. That's my nature. But I also like to talk about things that aren't just like in my world. That's how we learn things too. Yeah, I hope you get the extension too. He's like, I'm gonna be my own lawyer. Oh, the vacuum one makes me cringe. I haven't watched that since I made it. And then the bird one was like after that, so I thought I had gotten better. Oh, no shit. Yeah, do more reviews. Me and the vacuum, I still use the vacuum every week, multiple times. Me and the vacuum, we got mixed feelings. I should do an updated review. I was just thinking that when Oki said that, Jesse. Kid you not? I was like, that's Farms. I think she said that she had made stuff. I know she does stuff with the goat stuff. But I can't remember if she said she made the goat soap. I think she did. Farms, where are you? I'm just kidding. She's a super mom, y'all. She wears many hats. Yeah, we are. Hell yeah. There's my girl. Snaps. Snaps, y'all. Look at it. Look at it. Yeah, Oki was talking about he got a goat soap from someone from Australia. And I was like, I thought I remembered you saying stuff with the goats. Like in our like first couple conversations of making stuff besides like goat cheese and goat milk. Yeah, you did, super mom. Sitting there giving you credit because you need to hear the credit. You know, sometimes we acknowledge people's hard work from like a distance, like, and we don't know exactly what they do in their world all the time. And Farms is new but old to my soul, and I know she kicks ass over there all the time. A lot of people don't realize all the work that people do in their lives, you know? I thought you said you made soap. That's awesome. Why Canadian? Why Canada? Why Canadian? Why Canada specifically? Girl, it ain't about being kind, it's about being real. I think a lot of people sleep on stay at home moms, like, oh yeah, it must be great. And I'm like, no, they do a lot of fucking shit. They do it all, quite literally, and never have enough time in one day. And meanwhile, they have to treat themselves well to be able to do these things. And a lot of humans don't give to themselves as much as they should to do those things. And shout out to the moms because I feel like the moms are always doing that. But the dads be doing the stuff too, or the dudes be doing the stuff too. I'm not saying that, but I my best friend was a stay-at-home mom and fucking balanced so many fucking things, and I don't think that a lot of people see all the work that goes into that. Or stay at home anything when you're working from home, or you're also like at home all the time and all the things need to be done all the time. And then, like with farm, she's got little humans that need her on top of all the animals. So that's a lot of need. So I really hope that you pour into your own cup, girl, too, because you love better that way as well, and also that you deserve it. Well, that's interesting, Rim. I didn't know specifically if location was the reason. Hold on a second, y'all. Hold on. What up, Tom? I don't think anything ever gets finished all the time, right? We feel like we get ahead on stuff, and then we feel like there's still always a list. It's crazy. Oh. But then wouldn't it still be from the US, Rim? It's like some backdoor stuff. Yeah, layabout man, they're fucking useless. Absolutely. Yep. I'm gonna agree with that. Hope you're having a good day, Tom. Yeah, girl, I got you. As I learn about you on our journey of soul sistership, you know, that's something I definitely know that about you already. Super mom, super farm mom. She's not, oh, what is it? I need like a slogan. Like, she's a cool mom. She's not just a farm mom, she's a super farm cool mom. I need to learn more about stocks. That's for sure. I just never know where to, like Jesse was saying earlier, to even invest into things. It could be great and it could be bad. And it's also a gamble of like, when do you get out of that? It's almost like even crypto and stuff, Bitcoin or whatever. Oh, we're just chatting, Wayne. Good morning. Is this your first time in here? Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. With the live action. Yeah, keep people on their toes. Yeah, because everybody wants a cut. But it's like, seems like they're going around to not work directly. Yeah, like a referral. DCA, what is that? Hold on a second, y'all. Are you going to be Rim's accountant? Is this a universal message right now? Yeah, I always say I know how to count my money. But when it comes to all those things, the crazy like fraction, I know people that can literally just do equations in their head like nothing. I'm like, yep, nope, that's not me. I'm real good with money, but I'm not good with math. Ooh, girl, I'm about to pull up a chair. You better stop playing. All the dogs show up. Biscuits and gravy. That sounds awesome. Yeah, you too, Oki. Yeah, I need to cut the lawn this week. That's on my list. In the morning is always when I do it. Playing around that heat. Stay hydrated, have your protein, enjoy your day. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Don't start with none of that, Jesse. Don't start with none of that. Behind my 13 dogs. I cannot. I'm like, throw me a bone, throw me a scrap, a piece of a biscuit. Don't work too hard over there, Tom. Keep it cool. Don't let the chuckle nuts get under your skin. And just throw raisins at them. That's what Rhodey would say. Yeah, they're waiting for you to come save the day. Super Tom. I love the smell of fresh cut grass. Maybe if I throw him a bone, I'll get a whole biscuit, you know? I'm like, hey, you want one of these? Thanks for stopping in, Tom. I'm probably gonna get out of here soon too, y'all. Charge this phone. Get some stuff done around here, the usual, and then I'll be back at it in a little while. Stay tuned. Dun-dun. As always, it's a pleasure speaking to all of y'all. Thank you for everyone that stopped in this morning. Y'all are the best. I look forward to the conversations we haven't had yet, and good vibes and laughs. And as always, be a good human because we never know what any of us are really going through. And I am grateful for the thing that we've all found each other as we find other people that are like minded like us. Oh, and look who just came in the door. Wait, what? Farm's like, I'll be back too. Because engineers need heroes. Yeah, do you agree with that, Jesse? Yeah, crazy dog. Well, I hope the new CEO is beneficial. for you, Rim, and you can get more things done. Could be the best thing. Morning, Bama. He's like, I keep it gangster. But isn't that the gamble? No, Jesse, I was talking about what Tom said. Tom was like, you know why God made welders? Because engineers need heroes. Yeah, you too, Rim. Keep letting us know how things go. I mean, you're teaching us young grasshoppers some stuff. I may not be completely educated, so I'm like, okay, food for thoughts. Okay, okay, mama. You're like, hold up. I got my boots on. And you need a hero. Jesse's your hero. You might as well get a shirt with Jesse's face on it that says he's my hero. And maybe he has like money in his hand or something. I don't know. Creaky squad. You going down to the creek, or how some country people, some of my family, they're like, creek. You going to the creek? I'm like, yeah, the creek. Hey, I hope all y'all know that you can be anything you want to be. Quite literally. We are the only thing that holds us back. Of course, life can throw things sometimes, but we hold ourselves back. If we believe it, we can achieve it. And at times, I feel like we are what stands in ourselves, like in our own ways of achieving things. And then there's other times where we're supposed to be doing more soul filling stuff, and that's where our paths have changed. And maybe we don't do XYZ, what career that society said was best for us. What up, grown? I thought you were I thought you were Okie earlier because I was like, wait, what? I was like, why is this like familiar? How old is this profile picture? Don't tell me you did that last night. I know you didn't. Yes. Hold on. I'm gonna write it down. Yeah, they're like, why are you screenshotting it? But I like to write stuff down. Well, I am. Thank you so much for that, Farms. Yeah, Bama's a profile changing pro. I think he done got a new one already. Oh, that's so sweet. I was like, when I was writing it down, I was like, I wonder if she has a recipe book. Literally reading my mind. Of course you do. Duh. That's awesome. It's like we're the family of dogs. She's like, here, you're not gonna get a biscuit crumb, but I'll go ahead and I'll give you the recipe. That's the gold mine. With what, doggy? I cannot. Do you know that? I don't know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mama Farms cookbook. That's beautiful. It would be cool, like that. Well, do any of your kids now like to help you cook? Or they just like the grub? Because when I was a kid, I would when I was younger, like help like peel stuff and light kid weight type of things. Um, but when I don't know, I had a weird growing up, so we didn't really like eat at home as much, for sure. And I lived in like different households as well, so households would vary. Yeah, if you need a profile picture, Bam will help you grown. He'll teach you a thing or two. Yeah, I know, Bama. Duh. Everybody else probably don't know though. Yeah, if Bama don't like you, it had nothing to do with who you are and how you were brought into this world. Oh, good Lord, Ren. I'm sure that was like devastating. For you babies, I cannot. Okay, old grasshopper. Whatever, I know. Good morning. How are you and Roxy? What up, Harches? Pocket. Yeah, grown's about to go take his selfie. He's like, it's never enough for y'all. It's never enough. He's like freaking out. Just kidding. I'm done. Top of the morning. We've been all over the place in conversations this morning. Nothing new here. Okay, ma'am, I am breaking it down. I was 10 years old and crunching numbers. Roar. Barely do fractions at that age, I'm sure, but I care more about I love science. I loved it. I did not like the anatomy of like tearing anything open, but I did always love science classes. Um, I loved English, and I loved what social studies? I don't even know if they call them that anymore, but like history classes. It wasn't super heavy on a lot of history stuff. Like I can't recite like times of like war and where things swapped over here and there. Those things I'm not very good at. Not that it's not important to know those things, but at the same time, I feel like being stuck in times that no longer existed, it's important to know where things originated. But I'm just saying what my strong suits are. Math was always at the bottom. Yeah, I could pick that up without you even saying that. Oh, look, like y'all were on the same pattern right there. I know Bama was typing that after Jesse sent it. Or already had his typed. Oh, you mean like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's a whole nother discussion for sure. Because there's different scenarios, and I'm definitely for women's rights. So I don't know. Oh yeah, your brain just like plugged it together. Like, oh yeah. And sometimes that works for people. And then things make sense, and then other skills become easier because of previous skills. Oh, I didn't get my first flip phone until I was like 14, like 13 or 14. Oh my gosh, Rim's like going through real life crises, and I'm over there playing with my Barbies. Well, don't worry. If I would have seen you at the bowling alley, I would have probably cheered for you. I'd been like, this guy needs a cheer. A cheer or two. Not that you would have probably been at the bowling alley crying over that because that is an extreme loss. Harches. No. Oh no. We're not opening up that can of worms. That could be triggers for many things. I definitely got mixed feelings about it. Yeah, I hope you gave him the pink bowling ball. You didn't even need to say it. You didn't even need to say it. Yeah, there's obviously many different scenarios, so you know, I'm wherever someone stands with it, and I've seen a lot of different scenarios in my life with friends and family and stuff. So, I definitely I can see where women should have a decision, but I also don't think that people should be out there fucking not doing things to prevent it and then be doing some wild shit. I have a lot of mixed feelings about it, but at the end of the day, I think that women should have a choice. But that's why I'm saying when people get so hard about it, especially men, like you don't understand maybe that a woman had a decision or is making a decision based on something that happened. So, and it's a lifetime decision. It's not something that is like, okay, 18 years and they're done. No, that's like your baby forever. So, there's a lot of decisions, and sometimes the men that are involved in these situations are deadbeats, or if not complete pieces of shit, and have done awful things. There's so many different scenarios. So I know people get like mixed feelings about it, but I definitely think it's always the woman's choice because that's a huge decision to make for not only the woman, but also that baby. Like, I think both my parents shouldn't have had me. I'm very thankful that they did because of the obvious, but they definitely didn't have any business having a baby that they didn't plan to stick around for. There's a lot of different scenarios, like especially like the one that Jesse posted a second ago too. So I had some friends a few years ago that were several years back. All the Bitcoin and stuff was like really popping off, or the NFTs and stuff that really cashed out, and then there were people that really lost, like really lost. It's definitely gambling. Yeah, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of different scenarios. That's why I think the women should have a choice. But it's not to say that people don't have children for the wrong reasons, because they do. Oh, don't say that. I appreciate that, but also the world would still be the world. You guys, I would just be heaven's angel for y'all, I guess, and you would never know, or you would have inklings. Hold on. Yeah, because you'd be posting those videos with your shirt off. If you forgot you were on the dating, I can't believe Facebook does that now. That's some wild stuff. They do it all, right? And get you trapped on your phone even more. Oh my gosh, Rim. That's crazy. I know, Bama. Forever. I cannot. Did you really go off to try to take a selfie? I knew it. I knew it. I'm glad all of y'all were born too. I'm about to get out of here as well, y'all. I'm gonna charge this phone. I'll see you guys in a little while. Little grub. And I gotta do some stuff around here. I'll be back. But good chat, y'all. A good chat. I appreciate all of you. You're like literally like such a great piece to the YouTube stuff. More than you know. Truly. You all are worth being here. We're all here for a reason. We've all met each other for a reason. As we continue on our journey of cool conversations and cool vibes, we all have something to share. Like all different things. Like this morning's conversations were all over the place and there was a lot of knowledge to be had and shared and feelings, emotions, and laughs. You know, a good little happy recipe going on. And we got a recipe from farms. We should immediately feel blessed now. Literally, good chat, y'all. I'm going to talk again soon. Until then, stay hydrated, take care of yourself, make sure you don't pour from an empty cup, and remember we got each other's back. Good little community we got going on here. I'll talk to y'all later, and good luck on your selfie. Grown. Yeah, you too, Rem. You need to put up a selfie. If we're picking on grown, we gonna get on round too. Talk to you later, taters.